Wasabi weirdo. Serenity. I wanted to make this video personally for you. I know that I always say in my videos I've made these videos for myself. And now that I've come to terms with that, I've privated all of my videos, and I'm believing that that might have actually been the best decision I've made. Because my self-development has been for me for years. I haven't always been able to watch my own videos. And the last video I made was quite irritating. I will tell you what happened in the shortest way possible. I impulsively turned off my card because after eating some noodles that had been sitting in the cabinet for months, he ate the rest of the noodles and it automatically set me off. And I reacted. I didn't respond. We gotta learn a difference. A response is different than a reaction. Reactions are an action that you have based off of your emotions to an action of somebody else. And you're reacting to what they did. Now, I'm not saying what he did was wrong, and I'm not saying what he did was right. It just felt personal to me. Now, after I have cut off the card, apparently on the exact day that he was going to go get the cabbage that I asked for a couple of days ago, he was a little bit upset because I'm guessing he felt he wasted his time. But my time was wasted as well because I had been looking forward to that cabbage and I can't even go do my own shopping. I'm giving myself excuses for this impulsive thinking that I've done because now that my card is cut off, I might need it. I've sent it back to the aid office though, so our impulsive thinking isn't always, the worst thing because it triggers another reaction. Your reactions do trigger reactions. Now, all that aside, I finally let him vent, and he talked about all the different things that was bothering him, slept with him, and he went about his business. Made me feel like you might be I'm trying to make amends, but, I felt used, kind of. After he just told me that he felt disgusted with himself for sleeping with me when I first got here, you gonna sleep with me again? And then not even look at yourself as in, well, if it's so easy to not sleep with somebody that you can sleep with, then it would be easy for you to get rid of that feeling. Now, only reason that I don't want to bring him to that conclusion is because I feel like that would be, yet again, giving me an excuse for my unintentional actions that were still actions that that aren't right. Now, I do feel a bit justified, but just because you feel justified in your actions doesn't mean your actions were okay. And the only reason I'm saying this is because I want us to look at this video that I found of this lady. And, dang, just like that, I forgot her name. And we gotta work on that too. We're working on ourselves slowly. Don't rush yourself, but try to catch up on the 4 years that you have lost of your 20s. I watched a video with, Cheryl Lee Ralph on TED Talk talking about believing in yourself. And I just got through watching another video with the lady talking about let them. Now, I'm pretty sure I've heard this quote before from somewhere else. I just don't remember half of these things going through life because as the things are happening, sometimes you forget to take a step back and breathe and think because thinking is important. And I'm realizing that my selective hearing that Mom was so negative about was actually a superpower of mine, where I was selective about what I heard and would flip it on its ear to let it hear itself pretty much. took what people said and flipped them around. Now, you can't put words in people's mouth, so of course I'm trying to keep out of that. And then we gotta work on assuming things, because we self-sabotage when we assume things. But also, giving the benefit of the doubt has put us in bad situations as well. You gotta have a balance between those things. And I'm learning how to balance everything slowly but surely. Don't rush yourself. You are beautiful, okay? You are beautiful. And I want you to start believing that you're beautiful. Because if everyone that you have encountered has seen the parts of your soul that you try to hide, because these are parts that people have taken and pretty much taken for themselves, you allowed them to. You got to stop allowing people to take pieces of your soul, because you start to lose yourself. Now, I'm going to stop talking. Eventually, I'm going to edit all of this stuff together. I have to re-download InShot and all of that. But I'm going to get to the video. Be right back. I'm back and I'm in the corner. I don't know which side you want me to be sitting on. I feel like this side is better. Maybe over here. Anyway, we're going to watch this video again, because it's a good video to have.
Thank you for joining me on a rainy day. Nothing new there. So I am in the...
Her name is D. I had to find that out because I'm tired of watching people when I don't know their names. Can't remember people's names. You shouldn't be talking to them. That's good point. Anyway, let's move ourselves out of the way. Technical difficulties. There we go.
Thank you for joining me on a rainy day. Nothing new there. So I am in the conservatory, and I want to share a piece with you that is written by a lady called Cassie Phillips. I came across it on Facebook. Somebody had shared it, and it's one of those pieces that I've read, reread and read again, and it really strikes home for me. So I will share it and then add my thoughts in at the end. So it's called Let Them. Just let them. If they want to choose something or someone over you, let them. If they want to go weeks without talking to you, let them. If they're okay with never seeing you, let them. If they are okay with always putting themselves first, let them. If they are showing you who they are and not what you perceived them to be, let them. If they want to follow the crowd, let them. If they want to judge or misunderstand you, let them. If they act like they can live without you, let them. If they want to walk out of your life and leave, hold the door open and let them. Let them lose you. You were never theirs, because you were always your own. So let them. Let them show you who they truly are, not tell you. Let them prove how worthy they are of your time. Let them make the necessary steps to be a part of your life. Let them earn your forgiveness. Let them call you to talk about ordinary things. Let them take you out on a Thursday. Let them talk about anything and everything. just because it's you they are talking to. Let them have a safe place in you. Let them see the heart in you that didn't harden. Let them love you. Okay, so as I say, that has affected me on a very personal level. Pause for a deep intake of breath. And I knew it would affect me reading it out loud, so I've actually jotted down my ideas beforehand. You have to accept yourself just as you are without having to make changes for others. If you feel that you have to change to maintain a relationship, if that change is always one-sided, then the relationship might need to be given some consideration. And do not automatically take the blame and punish yourself for any of the things that they have done. Some of us find that hard to do. And on occasion you might be tempted to heal a rift, but they have to earn a place back in your life. Otherwise it will be very quickly back to as was, same old. You need to be shown respect and that your needs, your wishes, you are considered. They don't value you, and you deserve to be valued and to be made to feel valued. Let's face it, it's a form of control. Don't let them control you. You are the only one who has control of you. Unless you give that control away. Never forget that. You belong to nobody but yourself. So establish those boundaries. Establishing them is one thing. Keeping them is another. Have a big conversation with yourself about where those boundaries need to be. And if there would be any opportunity that you might feel you would allow those boundaries to fall. But put yourself, your considerations top of the pile. That's not selfish. It really isn't, though many people think it is. It's self-caring, self-nurturing. And boy, if those others aren't doing it, you must. You really must. On that note, I will say thank you very much for joining me. And take care. Take care of you, no matter what the world, no matter what other people, be they, in inverted commas, friends or family, work colleagues, whatever, think of you. Thank you for joining me. Bye for now. Bye.
Now, she has another video. Here we go.
Thank you for joining me. I'm recording this as a follow-up piece to let them, because people have been so responsive to this, but people have been questioning their own ability to take back that control, to take charge of themselves and their lives. So I'm going to begin by wishing that motorcyclist miles away by sharing a piece by my all-time ever favourite poetess, Donna Ashworth, in her book, I Wish I Knew. And I'll end with another. I couldn't decide between the two, so I'm going for them both. The first one is called Magically So. And I want you to think of you applying this to yourself. If you shine approval on someone, they flower. It's science, kind of magically so. If you consistently tell someone they are wonderfully unique, they will believe it. And consequently, the world will believe it too. For that person will go forth displaying their uniqueness as the gift it truly is. So, stop telling the world all that you are not, and start showing them all that you are. Expect that they will see the wonderful parts of you, because they will, if you do. Celebrate your differences, my friend, and make them even more beautiful with the power of your acceptance. Ever better, your approval. It's science, kind of magically so. So many of us have such a negative impression of how we are, who we are, what we are. And it's important that we do, and I include myself and everybody I know, that we accept ourselves. And it's not always easy. It really isn't. It can feel like being boastful, but it isn't. It's just accepting. Do you know, I did a good job with that? Do you know, I'm doing well with this? And accepting that for who you are. And the more you accept it, the more readily you believe it, and others pick up on it, and they accept this new you as well. So just listen to those words again, and I'll move on to another one called Your Light. Your light does not come from your success. Your light is not ignited by perfection or achievement or body shape. Your light is not fueled by popularity or acceptance. Neither is your light at any risk of being put out when other lights around you are bright. Your light is simply made of the you-ness that makes you, you. The worries that you have in the night, the music which sparks your joy, the books you had to read twice, the memories stored safely in your heart, the people you love, and the people who love you. Your life is never dependent on how you look or how you perform. It's just there. And it's quite simply brilliant. And it's all yours. And it lights up every room you walk into, whether you activate it or not. What a wonderful thing. Shine bright, little fighter. This dark world needs your glow. So listen. Listen to those words. Chin up high, shoulders back. Be proud of the person that you are. And don't let anything dull that light of yours. And I can see in the camera the children's windmill going round and round outside. It's covered in spots. It's multicoloured. And I just fell for it. And it's acknowledging my inner child. And we all need to do that as well. So, I don't need to blow it today. The wind's doing that very nicely for me. So take pleasure in little things. Take pleasure in being the person that you are. Bye for now. Take care. And I'll speak to you again soon. Bye.
After all that, I'm giving an example on how I'm starting to let them, right? So our friend Ricky has shown his ass, in quote unquotes. Because last night, before I had the conversation that I did with Tommy, he woke me out of my sleep, and I was bothered at the fact that I had to hang up because I felt that I couldn't answer him, considering that I knew that Tommy was here, and after Tommy being around, I just don't answer anyone else's call. And when I'm around Tommy, I do admit that I tend to completely cut everybody off because that's obviously what he wants me to do. But what he doesn't know is these were the people that came around when I needed them. But just because they came around when I needed them doesn't mean that they came around because I needed them. They came around because they needed something from me. Ricky came around right when my mom had passed, and he was checking on me and all of that. And I thought it was because he cared, and I'm realizing at the beginning he cared. It was me and my vagina that probably interrupted a very good friendship. Now, last night, he called me. I called him at 10 p.m. He called me back at, nope, let me go way back. He called me at 9 p.m. and I didn't answer because I was asleep. I said, as a response to missing his call, I said, I'm sleeping. I've been avoiding getting on the phone while he's around, so I'm not obligated to speak to him. He hasn't bothered me for real, but I'm just really not trying to risk it. I don't mind saying something to him, it's just that I'd rather not. I'm dozing off, I'm going back to sleep. Couldn't go back to sleep. I called him back at 9:19. He called me at 9, remember? Couldn't answer. I said he might not care as much as I think he does, talking about Tommy. He might not care as much as I think he does, but like I said, I'm trying not to risk it. It's been too long. I'm going to try to talk to him if I can. I really don't want to, but hiding ain't working either. He said, you good, I get it. I texted him back at 10 after him saying that at 9:56. I said, I'm finna call you back. Hold up. I called him at 10:24, which was literally like 15 minutes after I said I would call him at 10:09. And time is important because I waste a lot of my time on other people and not myself. I said, well, if you want, I'm up now. Me and him have talked, no worries. That was at 10:24. He did not call me back till 3:17 a.m. I missed the call. At 3:30, he said, "You up?" and called me again. And then texted me at 3:48, "Why you just looking?" Thinking that I was just looking at the phone and not answering him. That was at 3:48. I called him at 4:22. And it was like, I was busy. I'd be sleeping around this time anyway. And called him again. And it put me in this state of mind where I'm like, look, if we're missing each other, it's for a reason. So I went on ahead to set the boundary as it was happening. I said, I don't want booty call hours anymore. My whole days are over. I'm trying to grow the fuck up. He texts me at 9 a.m. I'ma just let you have it. I haven't said anything like that. You just keep talking about it as if I do. I'ma leave you alone so you won't feel like a hoe just with my mere presence. He said, like, bro, you the only one thinking about it, making jokes and shit. Only thing I've done is say Happy Thanksgiving and have regular ass conversation with you. You're making everything sexual. Now, as a response, I went on ahead and decided to explain myself, though I didn't need to, and we have to get out of that mindset that we have to explain ourselves. Let these people misunderstand you. Let them. Let them misunderstand you. He's been misunderstanding us for years now. And I'm not finna keep letting somebody that won't let me change up on me. I said, okay, I get you. I'm the blame for the mindset. But if that's the case, stop waking me out of my sleep because you want a regular conversation when you want. I have a life too, and I'm struggling like everyone else. If you can choose to call me at the dead of night, you can choose to call me at daytime. Be here or not, I was setting a boundary. Take it or leave it, doesn't matter to me. Now, I've talked to him. That's done and over with. He wants to leave my life because I'm trying to make my life better. That's on him. Demond is Demond Dorsey, and the reason I say his last name is because his last name is ever so important to him. And I don't plan on making any of these videos public again until I do some personal editing, which will take me a long time. Not years. I was thinking years, but it's not going to take me that long if I actually work at it. Now, not too long ago, while we were having this conversation, I kept telling him that he's looking in the wrong box and he's not exactly listening to me about how to improve his life, but he keeps complaining about it. I told him, I said, I have nothing left to say, good luck, and he, good luck. And I decided to respond, you'll find your way, you just gotta look for it, dude. Night night. He texts me the next day. Early rising. I didn't say anything. Texts me again. Find help. It helps you find income. Starts texting me about watching ads for $100 a day and, reviewing songs for $200 a day. Now, you and I both know that sometimes these are scams, but maybe it is what it is. I responded to him. He keeps sending me Facebook posts, and I'm not really on Facebook anymore. Because, Facebook doesn't, you can control what you see, but you can't really control what other people post so that you can see. So I ignored the Facebook post and went back to the watching ads and playing songs and getting paid for it. I said, believe it or not, I told him, believe it or not, I told you about them income avenues before. You just wasn't listening. That's why I said at this point you're distracting me. He responded, I forgot, my bad. And I left it at that. Now, the reason that I'm starting to set these boundaries the way I'm setting these boundaries is because I'm realizing that the reason that people disrespect me is because I disrespect me. And in order for me to get over being disrespected, I have to start respecting myself. And being disrespected isn't exactly the worst thing in the world, you know? You're not the most important person. You don't always have to have the last word. I'm leaving it at that. I'm gonna just start letting them. You gotta just start letting them. Now, with Tommy, on the other hand, the reason that I don't exactly trust him fully is because he constantly keeps telling me that he's not like other asshole men. But after sleeping with me, he has shown a lot of animosity. Like, he feels like he's more mature than every other guy I've met because he asks for consent. Now, I'm not one for out loud consent. It puts the awkwardness in the bullshit. But, you know, I feel like if the feelings are there and you and I both know that we're into it, then, you know, don't ruin the romance by asking me where, when, and how. Because where, when, and how comes from being able to have that connection mentally, not just physically. Now, I'm realizing that he ain't got an ESP and he can't read my mind. But if that's the case, when I first got here and he didn't ask me whether I wanted to sleep with him, we just got to sleeping with each other, then you obviously can go without asking for consent. You can blame that on Thomas and all the other personalities all you want. They are a part of you. And the only reason you created them was because I created mine. And mine have just been here. A lot of them weren't just created. A lot of them just popped in my head. And I just let them live here. Because, you know, I believe that because I try to have a positive attitude, they keep my positive attitude. Even when I'm being negative. And I'm going to start using my personalities to my advantage. I just have to start re-acknowledging them. You know, it's hard to re-acknowledge when you making yourself whole. We've been phased since he gave them back to me. Haven't been able to exactly separate them out like I used to. Now, I've been dealing with Cheeto and Kitty. They didn't leave me. And I'm starting to think that my other personalities didn't leave me either. But because he claimed they did, I put them away and let him have them. To keep a piece of me. And you keep letting people keep pieces of you, and sometimes you have to learn that just because they seem they deserve it, don't mean they deserve it. Because last night as we was talking, we went and we walked to the store for a pack of cigarettes because I asked him for some cigarettes because I quit completely cold turkey, but could not find my gum. So I was like, I need something to smoke. Excuse me. I've smoked all 3 of the cigarettes that he left me for the 3-day weekend that he's going to go see his family. And I ain't gonna ask him for no more. I think that was all I needed. That was all I needed. The fact that every time me and him have an argument, and he disappear, and he makes me come to him when he feels like, well, I'm gonna wait till she comes to me instead of coming to me to talk about these things. His communication skills are nowhere near where they need to be, but he's so good at convincing people things, right? He made up a whole story, and we were walking, and he just started talking about how he convinced the guy that his saber that he had was a light-up walking stick. And, you know, I was in my mind, I'm like, that sounds fake, but okay, you know. Maybe he's just babbling. Let him babble. And he told on himself. He was like, well, it's very easy to convince people. And I just got through convincing you of that story, and that story never happened. And it put my mind into perspective where I'm like, yeah, you're right. I am very easy to convince. That's because my mind is a little too opened in places that they shouldn't be, and a little too closed in places that I should open. Can't believe everything that everybody is saying to you. And I'm starting to realize that he's showing himself as being a manipulative liar. Because he could just lie at whim and get you to believe these things, which is how he's gotten through life. Because the world we live in now, Serenity, and I'm so sad to say, but the world that we live in now, they want you to lie to them. And I know you hate lying. But so far, being extremely honest hasn't gotten us anywhere either. So I need us to get in the mindset of, I'm not lying, I'm just acting. And the reason I'm telling you to think this way is because if you're acting and playing the character that these certain positions and these certain people want you to be, you'll start learning how to turn it back off and come to yourself. And I know you've been creating masks, and that's how Scarlet and Cheeto and everybody came to play. But now that you have these personalities, you need to be able to put them on. Like, we haven't even talked to Karma in a long time. And that's because, in order to talk to Karma, you actually have to pay attention and see her thought bubbles. And because my head is so full of thought bubbles, I can't tell hers different from mine. Now, as I was cutting off my card, I was telling myself, this is impulsive, but I feel like this is an impulsive action that I have to do to see his reaction. And the entire time when I kept beating around the bush that I cut off the card, he was just, he makes that face. Doesn't even want to talk about it, because now that we're cool, I don't want to end up in another argument with you. But the thing about that is, them noodles that he ate, the rest of them, I didn't even take a whole half out. Took out like literally a third, 25% of the bag. He ate the other 75%. And that bag of noodles had been sitting up there for months. And I'm guessing he ate them because, at the time, I assumed he ate them because he wanted them to himself. If he didn't, then he wouldn't have automatically hurried up and ate them when he realized that I was eating on his noodles. Now, if you wanted those noodles to yourself, you could have told me that. Because I hadn't touched those noodles for months. You have been here and you have had time to make those noodles for the both of us. And now as soon as I decide to make myself some, you want to eat the rest of them because of what? Now, I know what I did was impulsive, and it might have hindered me a little. But it also showed me that there are things that he wants control over, and because I took control from him, he was upset. Went to the store at his own time to go get my head of cabbage, and could not get it because you're paying for it on my card. Now, he could have still bought the head of lettuce. A head of lettuce is less than a pack of cigarettes, that's for sure. And I'm guessing at the time he didn't have his check yet, so I ain't gonna... Let me backtrack. He didn't have his check yet. So, but when he did get his check, we walked to the gas station to get cigarettes, and as I was talking to him about trying not to throw up because I had ate the vegetables the way that I did, as I'm talking and, we were in front of the cashier, he said, and I just shut up. Now, after we got out of the gas station, he apologized, so at least he knows that I can't stand that fucking shit. He I'm not saying that guy was judging you, it's just sometimes you have to keep some things to yourself or something like that. I'm talking to you. And me throwing up has nothing to do with him at work. And because you're worried about people judging you, you want me to worry about people judging me. I do not care. And I should care somewhat. But it's a lot part of me that does not care. Now, if the judgment actually is worth me looking at myself and worth me judging myself and trying to. I'm not judging myself. You gotta. And judging has a lot of negative connotations. Sometimes judgment is a good thing. You know, consequences. Me coming here to pretty much honor my inner child. And, well, I came here to get help on my resume and to help get a job and all of that. But now he then completely wiped that off the slate, because I'm guessing he didn't get what he wanted out of me, or maybe he got what he wanted out of me without me getting what I came here for. Because now he's going back to his parents' house to go work on himself instead of giving me the help that he told me he was going to give me. So I want you to think about those things and don't beat yourself up, because, yeah, you make the choices that you make according to what people do to you. Your reactions actually have a lot of feedback. You have some power that you don't use, and I want you to start using it. Now I'm going to stop making the video because I've gone past 30 minutes. I love you, girl. I love you, weirdo. You are just so beautiful. You are beautiful. You know that? Smile at the camera, girl. You are beautiful. Your soul is beautiful. And your mind is beautiful. And that's why people find value in you, and you need to start finding value within yourself. I love you. I am about to probably get into a workout pretty soon if Tonto does not call me back. Because I've taken a week off of my workout routine, and this is the 8th day, so we gotta do something. But my stomach is hurting me a little, so I might not do too much. I think it's gas. All that aside, like I said, I love you, girl. And when people show you them, let them. Just let them. All right. Peace.